And lack of racism as well.
This episode is sponsored by Jacob's Mini Cheddars. Just
It's
kidding.
not really, but should someone be
We're not
listening from the
sponsored by
cheese
them, but if
manufacturer?
they'd like to.
That's at gmail.com.
I'm just going to send you a picture of some gammon that looks like a vagina.
I like gammon.
Do you like vagina?
Yes.
Well, today's your lucky day.
Not yet.
Oh, wow. That's a flabby piece of gammon there.
Vaginal gammon.
Yeah.
Well, we found the name of the episode.
Vaginal gammon.
Right, we'll start. We are waiting on Paul. Kind of.
I did say to just send a warning message before he joins so we can go, and now Paul at Royal Albert Dock or whatever it's
Yeah,
called.
so Paul, obviously he's in Liverpool, and he stumbled across them filming apparently, because obviously the set reports have come up on Twitter in the past like 10 minutes. He's going to try and see if he can get something worth showing us and join the voice chat, and then hopefully video chat, but you won't see that because we don't do...
Wait, have we started now?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah,
I'm going
so
to
the
get some crackers. This is
the
going to be a long one.
news that we're going to talk about quickly now is they are filming Doctor Who in Liverpool. Paul is in Liverpool. He's possibly going to get us something to show off later. If it's interesting on video,
Well,
you'll get a video Shobocast this week.
oh.
And Dan will have to faff about putting the video onto
that'll be
the recording screen.
really fun.
This is why I don't record it.
Oh, right.
Well, it's my week off next week, so you've got to record.
What? You're not coming to Shobocast
No,
next
I'm
week?
joking.
Oh, yeah, I was about
I
to say.
didn't know that was an option, but now I know that it's an option. I'm definitely
it's
not.
not.
Well, then it will end because we'll all just leave and not
No,
come.
it would just be you two calling up and pretending that you're recording.
Probably.
I'll
I've got OBS on my computer.
I'll be Dan and Paul, and Cam can be other Dan.
All you need is OBS.
I don't
Wait.
know how to use it, but
How do I
how
do it?
has everyone's week's been? I'm assuming we're still recording.
Whoa, Cameron! Welcome to episode 28, by the way.
Yeah,
So we were talking about Human Nature, Family of Blood from Series 3. Yeah, sorry about that weird intro. How has everyone's week's been? What are you doing?
Good. Harry's currently making a sandwich.
I'm making cheese and crackers.
Oh.
We
Ooh.
here are a professional podcast. Let no one ever
We've
tell you
never said that
otherwise.
on record.
They are liars and slanderers if they say so.
I am good. In answer to your question about are we okay, because I'm making my Weevil mask. And
Yes.
I've tried it.
Shall I put some pictures on the screen in the edit?
Yeah, go on.
Alright. Boom! Look at them. I have to pretend that we can see them.
Wow, that's amazing.
Acting.
They look so nice.
Weird that it's got a mustache though.
You are?
What's that, Cameron?
Oh, it's so weird that your Weevil has a Hitler mustache though.
Oh yeah. Don't put that in the.
That was a weird choice.
The algorithm's going to pick that up.
Well,
The cats are now circling me because they know I've got cheese. Right. Anyway.
cat homes are incredibly clean. But yeah, Dan, how is your week?
It's been a weird week. Not just like for me, but just some odd stuff's happened. We've had the Snyder Cut has come out finally. I mean, it was all ready to go back in 2017, guys. I don't know what you mean. Yeah, I've not watched it yet. I think you have, haven't you, Cameron?
Yeah,
Yeah, and Paul is going to watch it. No, he has watched it. Sorry.
Yeah,
he
Paul's the one
has
that
watched it
messaged
now.
me
I
about
saw him talking about it. Yeah, it's better than the 2017 version, but then director's cuts normally are.
Yeah.
The stories and stuff from Man of Steel carry over a lot better. The final battle scene looks better because it's not being shot and then color graded to look like a red fucking explosion.
Yeah, who'd have thought a project
Yeah.
gets millions of pounds thrown at it and it turns out not as bad as the original. I'm gonna watch it. I don't know when because it's about 4 hours long.
4 hours, yeah.
Is it 4 out fucking now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't even watched the first one yet, so.
I do want to know what he would have cut for his theatrical version, because they would have not allowed a theatrical 4-length version of this. But, yeah. It's interesting. There's a scene where some Norwegian women start singing after Aquaman leaves, and one of them just starts sniffing his jumper. That goes on for far too long. It's only about 30 seconds, but that's 30 seconds too long.
That is too long for
Just let Aquaman dive into the ocean. You don't need to be singing after him. While Bruce Wayne looks on full on, and a woman sniffs his jumper.
Does Aquaman die in it then? Or-
No. This is the opening bit where he's been talking to Bruce Wayne and then buggers off.
I don't know any of these things, so.
I can barely remember the first film, the original. Sorry.
The Joss Whedon one.
The first hour of it dragged a bit, but
what else
What are you
happened
gonna
this
do?
week? Shitting hell. Oh, is it Chris Chibnall's birthday today, or was it yesterday? Ow.
I don't know.
yesterday.
Yesterday.
Yeah.
But-
Should we talk about that now then?
I'd like to talk about this, because Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
Just Doctor Who fans can be like some of the best people in the world, but then they can also be some of the sickest fans.
Yeah. I find that with a lot of fan communities I'm in, like Doctor Who and also professional wrestling, there's a lot of elitism in wrestling fans. They're twats.
Yeah, I reckon wrestling fans are like Doctor Who fans crossed with football fans.
Yeah.
Is that an accurate assessment?
It is. It is. There are some very horrible wrestling fans around.
I'm just scrolling through the BBC put a picture up on the Doctor Who account on Instagram, a picture of Chibbers, fish and chips, in the console room, and it's happy birthday to Chris Chibnall, birthday cake emoji. I'm scrolling through the comments now, and I think they've managed to get rid of the worst ones.
I looked earlier and they've deleted most of the.
But my god, the state of that comment section when it went out. You had people saying stuff like happy birthday, thanks for ruining Doctor Who, and my personal the one that thought this is absolutely terrible was the one that said happy birthday, I hope it's your last. This is and I said this last week.
It's a TV show.
And I said this last week. We're talking about Doctor Who. We're not finding a cure for cancer.
No.
This is not something to get so passionate about one way or the other, because I don't know what you're trying to achieve. And to go on someone's post on their birthday and say something like that, thank God he probably couldn't see it. I'm assuming he doesn't engage with that stuff.
Yeah.
But imagine if it was his account or if he'd been tagged in it. That is cyberbullying, right? That's not me overthinking it.
Yeah, that's harassment.
Yeah.
And that's from people who claim to be fans of this show that teaches you to not do those things on a weekly basis.
Be acceptant.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, this sort of post happens on anything they put up, even if it's not to do with the current era. I saw stuff slagging Chibnall off on the Fury from the Deep announcement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything Doctor Who related, they just use as
Yeah.
to have a go. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of Chibnall Zero.
No, me
But
neither.
I hate him as a person, or want him to not
Die?
God no.
Yeah, exactly.
If anything, we're jealous of him. He's landed the best job in the world.
Yeah.
You can't. And if it's not for you, that's where it should end. You should think, this week's Doctor Who wasn't for me. That's where it ends. Unless you have a sad podcast like us where we talk about it. That should be it. You shouldn't then use all of the, every fibre of your being to just hate it. I don't get it.
1 second.
Cameron's just occupied with things, but yeah, it's embarrassing. And I think I think it's safe for us to say now, if you're listening back to this and you are the kind of people who don't enjoy the current era and make a point of it all the goddamn time, you're not welcome here. we don't I know our viewership and listener like our audience in general is low. Should it
So-
ever rise, we'd be very lucky. But
Yeah.
if it's got those kind of people in it, we don't want that.
We don't want you listening.
We really don't condone that kind of behaviour, because like I said, you put any other person in that situation, any other job, and it's just completely fucked.
Sort of goes against the current Doctor Who mission statement as well, because their branding is space for all. Like, no matter what you are, who you are, what you do, you can enjoy Doctor Who.
Yeah.
But these people are taking this thing that a lot of people love and using it as a weapon and not going with the ethos of this entire thing.
Do you know, it's funny,
And-
Daddy of mine, that you mentioned that, because he, the kind of people you see commenting stuff like that, and like the ones that feel the show is attacking them in some way, mostly people to the right. Let's agree.
Yeah.
Don't.
Tory cunts.
What's funny is that they're the ones that will go to the effort of commenting on a picture of him saying, "I hope you die." Effectively, "I hope this birthday's your last. I hate your writing. I hate you. You've destroyed the show." Blah blah blah. Yet they're the ones that are always calling people like us snowflakes. Yeah, all we do is just go, didn't like that. Moving on. I just
But then
find it
Doctor
so
Who is
ironic that.
Yeah, meant to be a show for everyone, and they're not allowing that.
And also, like, if it's taken them till now to realise that they don't like the way the show's going, how have they ever enjoyed it? Like, ever? Because the show hasn't changed politically, or with what it's trying to teach people to do.
It's done in the way it's done.
No. It's just like, it just takes a few YouTubers or influencers or whatever to say, "Hey, look, this is a bit left," and everyone goes, "No, it is!" And it's like, it always has been.
This is only doing the thing it's been doing for 57 years now.
But now there's a woman leading it, and that woman solely is responsible for the demise. And I think it's like, it's pretty obvious by demise in like viewership and stuff. They actually just mean they're less interested themselves.
Yeah.
Like the brand isn't suffering
Their
in
own
any
personal
way.
prejudices.
Yeah, the brand isn't suffering.
I'd say, if anything, the brand has started regrowing. Because it sort of took a decline in merchandise and all of that stuff during Moffat's, towards the end of Moffat.
Yeah. Well,
But
viewership has gone up since the end of Capaldi.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
in terms of merchandise and stuff and figures and, you know, whatever, that's always been going downhill anyway, because less kids are more, like, so many kids are more interested in an iPad
Yeah, it's
than
us
a fucking
adults.
action figure.
Well, not
So
adults. It's us. It's mainly adults and older teens who,
yeah,
younger adults and old. I don't know what I'm trying to say. It's
Yeah.
mainly adults who are into like the figures and stuff.
it's,
And the merch.
it's just sad. I saw it this morning. I thought we've got to bring this up. It's not
Yeah.
normal behavior. It's like psychotic to
Yeah.
to go, because just like I say, imagine it in any other person's page.
I think
like an athlete
lockdown
or
is
something.
heightening it as well. I think it's making people find something to focus on
Yeah.
that they can like vent all their like rage on. Yeah, yeah.
But,
Should we start talking about the lighter topic of this Doctor Who story?
Yeah, happy birthday, Chris Chibnall. Belated birthday, and
Yeah.
happy birthday,
Happy
everyone.
birthday.
Oh, yeah. We'll get straight into the main topic then. Cameron, you say your thing.
Yes. How was everyone's thoughts going into this episodes? Sorry, the two.
I remembered it being decent. I remembered it being a solid story, so I was just like, oh yeah. So I probably won't have my opinion changed at all. It will just be like watching an old sort of classic in a way, which I sort of then realised why it's a classic as I was watching it, because it is. I actually really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I Series 3 as a whole for me is weird, because I was keen on it, and now every time I revisit stuff from it, I just love it more and more. I don't know what it is, but because I don't feel the same about Series 2 at all. If anything, the more I revisit Series 2, the less I like it.
Yeah.
And I can't quite put my finger on why that is, but Series 3 and 4...
I was never the biggest fan of Series 3.
I
thought
think
it was-
people were very quick to shit on it.
Well, I don't. It's. I think that Russell was just really shit to Martha as a character.
Yeah.
Like, it was just a bit hard to watch how the Doctor was made to treat Martha as a human being.
I think that, and I think, even though I adore her and she's great, I don't think Freema was I don't think she was spot on for that role.
No, she was a lot better in Torchwood than she was in Doctor.
Yeah, definitely.
As a more
And
adult.
also in series 4.
And she's great. I was just going to say she's good in the finale in series 4. I just think, I don't know,
But
something
she was always made to play second fiddle to Rose.
Yeah.
So she wasn't given the opportunity to become her own character.
But Martha as a character, I think, is brilliant. And the older I get and the more I revisit that series, the more I appreciate it compared to stuff like Clara.
And Martha gets the chance to shine a lot in this because obviously we don't have the Doctor as a whole thing in this episode.
Yeah, which
So Martha is really the more taking charge, doing the things the Doctor would normally do.
Yeah, I think that's like one of the weak points for me of it is how much it dwells on Martha loving the Doctor.
Yeah.
To the point where she outright says, like, you had to go and fall in love with a human and it wasn't me. And she's like, no.
Yeah.
But it's like
why?
At this point in the series, we've heard her say this quite a few times now. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's something I noticed on this rewatch going into it. Was like, she's a lot more whiny than I remember in this one.
She is.
Yeah.
But, you know.
And that's
we've all
why
got faults. That's what makes us human.
Character.
There doesn't seem to be a middle ground though with Martha in this story. She's either very whiny or like being the Doctor surrogate. Like there's no middle bit where she's just human. Oh, Paul's here.
Oh! I've never met you before.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm walking the bus stop.
You are?
What is your report from the Royal Albert Dock?
Jodie Whittaker is filming there right now.
Is she there? Woo!
It's over there, anyway.
Woohoo!
Are you gonna go and like eat her?
Me and my little girl going back to the hotel room.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Shobocast. Get her to like say like you're watching the Shobocast.
From 2 meters away.
Yeah.
She's just there going, "You're listening," from like across the bay.
Shobocast.
Right, I'll call you just when I get there then.
But she doesn't hear him right, so she pronounces it wrong.
Yeah, yeah, I was really looking forward to this story because when we first started, we had a list of stories we wanted to cover, and this was one that I said because I really enjoy it. But there are the problems that you guys have pointed out that I noticed. But I think
does that taint your
away.
enjoyment though?
No, it doesn't. It's just like yes, it's there, but I enjoyed the story for more than that.
That's something I realised since doing this podcast is like we don't just come on here every week and say say what we think of it, and then someone say something and go, oh, actually you're right, it isn't as good as I think. Like that's not what we're trying to do here. We'll still feel exactly the same as it. Sometimes though, like Dan will highlight a flaw and I'll go, oh, that is pretty shit. But if you enjoy it, you enjoy it.
I did really like the opening of Human Nature, where we get that like in media res bit of them already having been attacked by the family and them running away.
Oh yeah, which we haven't seen.
I think that works really well as a opening to sort of like solidify the fact that these are very bad people.
What's the is it the empty child that starts off with that as well?
Yes, him chasing after the
that's what it reminds me of, is like it's just boom, you're in. Little bit of thing and then credits and then it's like a bit of a time skip.
And it works really well here because it's like we get this chameleon art thing that we've never heard from, and it's like David Tennant's acting where it's like, I never wanted to use this sort of thing, helps establish that as something bad, and by default, the family as worse.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very good at setting the stakes high, and showing off the threat.
It's got very good music.
It
This
has. Only Martha Knows is a beautiful track.
Yeah.
Mm.
The whole is that the theme which plays like throughout with David Tennant and yeah, that one. Yeah, that's very good. And they play it
I've
so many
listened
different
to
ways.
it a lot.
What?
I've listened to it quite a bit.
Yeah, they played it so many different ways for so many different parts.
Hmm.
We also get the Doctor Forever in this. It's the Sting on
Yes,
the
that's a
next
good-
time bit at End of Human Nature. That's also very good.
Oh, for yeah,
Oh, that's a good track there.
I Sydney and Verity. It's a nice
Great.
bit.
I love
That
that.
was a lovely little touch where my parents, Sydney and Verity.
Mm.
That makes me smile every time.
I've got one.
Mm.
That because you mentioned that scene, it reminded me. Did anyone think that scene on the hill looked a little bit weird?
What scene on the
How
hill?
so?
Like the background looked not like green screen, but it just looked odd.
What hill?
When he's
they're-
talking about his parents and
when he's
stuff.
fixing the scarecrow, and he's talking to her about Sydney and Verity and stuff. It might just be me, but every time I've watched it, I've noticed that background looks just
I
odd.
did not notice anything.
Right,
but
it's probably just me then.
I probably
They
was.
may have had to do some CG work on the background just to make it like take out a
Older.
building or something. I don't know, but
Yeah.
Although with
yeah.
Doctor Who's budget at that point, they probably wouldn't have bothered.
yeah.
I would have loved one of the shots to just have like a massive like electricity pylon.
Yeah. When's it set? Like,
It is
13.
in
1913.
yeah. Oh, 13.
Yeah,
so
November-
before the First World War.
It is November 11th, 1913, so it's 5 years to the day before the end of World War One.
Yeah.
Mm. I've got some weird notes, but oh yeah, the shot where Martha, because obviously we don't see the TARDIS for quite a chunk of it.
Yeah.
The bit where she goes into the barn to see it, that shot is like an exact mirror of the one in School Reunion when Sarah Jane sees the TARDIS.
Yeah.
Like that
Yeah.
pan around, it's like bob on. Like that. That was cool.
I quite like the bit at the school during the cadet meeting. Where they're on
you
the
would.
gun and Latimer's being Latimer. And it's just like, oh, it seems weird that we would be attacking men with spears with a high caliber machine gun.
Yeah.
And it's like, that is sort of like not... This sort of got highlighted later on last year with all of the Black Lives Matter protests and stuff, and how we're taught history is... We were taught at school that the British Army is good and right and just and honest and gentlemanly.
Mm.
But they do fire a machine gun at a spearman
Yeah.
because he could stab you with a very sharp papaya.
Yeah.
Anyway.
One bit that pissed me off is at the end when the Doctor actually sort of like almost begs Matron to come travel with him and says like he'd actually like to try a relationship with her of some kind. When Martha's been there, just like for him, and he just completely forgets about Martha.
He's a dick.
Because he
Tenth
basically
Doctor's
begs
such a
Matron
dick.
to come with him. He is such a dick to Martha. Well, just in general.
It's quite a
really.
few people, yeah.
Yeah. But I
Yeah.
just thought... Because he literally talks about he wants to try something with her, like a relationship. And it's like... I don't know.
While she might be a bit whiny in some of the bits, like, you fell in love with a human and it wasn't me, I do sort of feel sorry for Martha in this episode, because, like, she has been there. She's
Yeah.
in love with this man, and he just
And the doctor's just been
ignores her.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like sort of
And then goes and tries to get another woman in.
it's a thing for the whole series. It's like a metaphor for the whole series.
Yeah.
Because like that just happened. That's the whole. Yeah, it happens throughout. I love the quote. What sort of a man is that? When like John Smith is sort of breaking down, like not wanting to be the Doctor because he's sort of ashamed of who the Doctor is. That he didn't think of like that he'd fall in love or anything.
Yeah.
Mm.
No, instead he started talking about the House Martins.
Hmm.
Um,
Also, I love when Martha names all the bones in the hand.
yes, and
And
it's just like,
Matron's
oh, you
like-
read that in a book. How else are you meant to learn what the bones in your hand are called?
Yeah, and Matron's just a bit. Oh,
Yeah.
Bit racist.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well,
Yeah,
just also
of the
doesn't
time.
even. But like, she looks like she doesn't even know what all those bones were called herself.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, a school matron probably wouldn't.
No,
No, she's only trained for like small
She-
things.
but a wet paper towel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
even then it was like that.
It's like the illness she is seen to cure in this episode is this one child's a bit ill. He's just missing his mother.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, you can help someone with a cold by giving him like a towel on the face or something, but you can't actually do anything properly.
One scene that's very like good and quite shocking imagery is the scene where all the boys are like shooting down the scarecrows and crying, and like it's got the choir boy music over the top, and it's just
To
cut
be a
from
pilgrim.
them, like with tears streaking down their face as they mow down these people because they didn't
Yeah.
know they weren't alive, and the
Yeah.
Doctor doesn't shoot at all.
Yes.
during the entire thing.
That's a nice
Good
detail
decision.
that even
Yeah,
as not the Doctor, he can't
he
bring
can't
himself
shoot anyone.
to do it.
Just because of the time war and what
Mm.
happened. But then in like things like Seeds of Doom, he fucking breaks Scorby's neck and stuff. But anyway, I just thought that was a nice scene.
I have a question for you. Who is in charge in the Family of Blood? Because there's bits where it's son of mine is in charge, then there's bits where
Yeah.
it's father of mine or mother of mine. So which one of them's actually
I
in
think
charge?
it's mainly supposed to be Son of Mine,
Hmm.
because there is also a quote where they say, where Father of Mine says, "Careful, Son of Mine, this is for you," or something.
Yeah.
When they're in the hall and Martha has the gun pointed at him.
Yeah, but that could also be it's like the parents trying to do this so their children can survive longer. Which
I
I,
don't
think
think-
has been a thing in Doctor Who
Yeah.
before, or I'm getting confused with something. But
I think it's supposed to be like the son is the mad sort of person
Yeah.
in charge, and
he
he's
is the one we see the most of, so
yeah. That actor does such a good job.
Oh, he's just chewing the scenery.
He's brilliant.
Harry Lloyd, he is a marvelous actor because
He was in Game of Thrones, wasn't he?
yes, he was one of the Targaryens.
Yeah. I haven't
Um,
even seen Game of Thrones. I just know he was
He's
in it.
also in the old Robin Hood TV show from BBC One.
Oh,
He played the carpenter in Robin's gang in series 1 and 2, and like because that came out around the same time as this, the difference between those two characters is brilliant for him to be filming them at the same time.
Hmm.
He does get a bit annoying at some points. Harry
What?
Lloyd's character, basically just like his voice, because when he becomes, he
I
does a
don't-
slightly different cadence on his voice before and after his change.
I think that's brilliant, though. I don't think it becomes.
And when he's
annoying.
being Baines, his voice is a bit like high and a bit annoying on the ear.
Yeah, and wussy.
Yeah. Just like the bit
And
where he's getting the
bussy.
beer and it's like, who's there? Like,
Yeah. Oh no, I quite
hey,
like.
man, you just fired a gun for God's sake.
He didn't fire the gun though, because
He would have done.
though, didn't it?
He was an older student. He was in
Yeah,
charge
he
of
would
the
have.
cadet force.
I don't know. I just quite like the transition
Hmm.
because I also like how he's not the one who was in charge of the boys. He was like, yeah,
Hmm.
I don't know. Timothy Timber's great as well.
Yes.
That is his name, isn't it? Timothy Timber. Timothy.
Who?
He was the little one, Latimer.
Yeah.
Thomas Latimer.
I
Thomas
saw.
Brody Sanger.
I remember
Isn't it
seeing him in.
creepy?
I saw him in, I think, Maze Runner in the cinemas when that
Yeah.
came out, and I was like, I know him from somewhere. And then
He's
about
in Stick of the Dump as
3
well.
months later, realised who it was.
He's
Yeah.
in Stick of the Dump, and he's also in Love Actually.
Yeah. He's also the voice of Ferb in Phineas and Ferb.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Which is a good reference for his role in Love Actually, because the person that Ferb has a romantic interest in is the one who he has a romantic interest in Love Actually.
Oh, the same actress.
Yeah.
Oh, that's quite cool.
Along with like half the cast of Rocky Horror Show. But yeah, Thomas Latimer is one of
astounding.
those one-off characters who I've always wanted to return, because
Yeah.
like he's got that psychic field with the Doctor, and like he could be a really good companion.
The bit where they visit him at the end. is
Yeah,
very nice. That's a lovely little touch.
yeah. Sort of like a precursor to what came at the end of Russell's era, but
Yeah.
yeah. What else have I got? Trying to find something that we've not already discussed in my notes.
Dan, turn your camera on, man.
Yeah, where the hell is my webcam? So I'm just stretching pictures of father of mine.
Wait, have we got the names up on the thing of like father of mine and daughter of mine?
No, I was basing it off the oh my god, the perfect timeline of all 5 of us being here, and we weren't.
Yeah, but there's only 4 family of blood.
Yeah,
That's
no,
fine.
I had a surprise.
Oh,
We'll have to wait until never.
the
The
surprise.
two scenes that I've got written in my thing, I know one of them's not the actual name of it, but like the love of a human and then fury of a Time Lord. So like we get those 2 scenes one after the other where the John Smith growing old with a family and everything, and it's like it's
Yeah.
really nice and wholesome, and then the
Some crazy
Doctor
montage.
not killing them
Yeah,
because he doesn't kill them.
he just sets them in an eternity of hell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on these? Because the fury.
Well,
of
that's
the Time
almost
Lord is-
selfish, isn't it? The setting them in because it's like he does that because he doesn't want to have the guilt of killing them, so he'll just do something worse.
They wanted to live forever, though.
Oh yeah, that is true. Well, he's giving them
They
what
want-
they want, but in a way that's worse.
Yeah, it's like the genie wishes. You want it's
It gives you what
Actually,
you
a bit
want,
like-
but not in the way you wanted it.
Yeah.
Barusa, is it?
Yeah,
in
Barista.
5 Doctors. It's
Yeah.
like you want
Yeah, he wants
eternity,
eternity.
and now you're a living statue on my tomb.
Immortality.
So it's quite a good callback to that. Have any of you read the book this is based on?
The Virgin New Adventures? No.
Oh, I've got the book, but I haven't read it.
Oh, that's. Thought we could do a bit about that.
No,
The
I don't know
Sylvester
anything about that.
So I just don't bother reading the Virgin New Adventures stuff because there's so much like weird, fucked up shit in them. Like in one of them, Ace gets raped, doesn't she, and stuff.
Let's not go there.
No.
The Virgin New Adventures, I think, could be like a separate topic episode
Yeah.
one day, because
Yeah.
even though apparently it's like, I think is it Lungbarrow? It's like impossible to get hold of.
Yeah, I don't know if that's because it was just a limited run print or because of what Long Barrow is.
What happens in Lungbarrow again? Is that the one about the Doctor's past and stuff?
Yes.
About the other?
Looms and stuff. I think you can probably find like a rough PDF online, if I'm honest.
Yeah, it's basically the end of the Cartmel master plan.
Yeah.
And it's going out all guns blazing, let me tell you.
Yeah.
The Doctor's the other, isn't he?
Yes. Well, a previous incarnation of the Doctor.
Oh, from before Hartnell.
Yeah.
It basically was the Timeless Child. Chibnall
Yeah.
just brought back the Cartmel master plan. But now everyone's saying because it's Chibnall and because it's Jodie that they don't like it. Even
Oh no,
though
people have been saying they don't like Long Barrow for a while as
Yeah,
well.
no, Lungbarrow's been... I think more joke... I think Lungbarrow's been more often subject of a joke than the Timeless Child has.
Yeah.
I think people just complain about the Timeless Child, and I think rightly so. But yeah,
There's a copy of Lung Barrow on eBay for 180 quid at the moment.
Fuck off!
Yeah.
one of us should buy it and then take a picture of each page and send it to the rest of them,
Yeah, and then sell it.
and then sell it for even more. And then you've made
You
a
know-
profit, and
Do
you've
you
also
want
made
to know a
unlimited
sad thing?
rights.
There's this rare Doctor Who paperback. It's the Wheel in Space, but the paperback of that really rare. I got it, but then because I got it from a mate who was getting rid of their Doctor Who stuff, and but I just don't read, so I think my mum just chucked it out because I don't read books, and it's
Oof,
worth 50 quid minimum.
profit on that.
Yeah, I know.
The Family of Blood spaceship I found in this, just to get back on topic quickly. I found it looked
why?
a bit like the TARDIS if it was malformed.
It did look very coral-like, and it had that
Yeah.
kind of like texture to it. I
Like
agree.
the guns. But I didn't like the guns because you couldn't hold them properly. You saw when all the actors were holding the guns, it's like they had to hold their wrist like pulled back to them so that it would face anyone.
Yeah, that's part of the early concept of it, because they were meant to be and it sort of carries over only in the ship, and the guns they're meant to be living creatures and things,
Yeah.
and so the gun is meant to actually have something inside it, and you're actually just squeezing its bum and it's shooting out acid. That is the best way I can think of describing that, and I've got that written down in my notes in much better words.
Yeah, they
Squeezing an alien worm's bum and it'll shoot acid at you. Family of Blood, killing people this way for millennia.
I'm trying to see if I've got any more notes.
I had just some weird things because I wrote
Shut
it.
up! Stop talking! Cease and desist. There's a good girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just what it
I also wrote that. I've got it here.
Yeah.
No
Oh,
one. I thought
do you
it
want
odd.
some
I thought it was odd
sardines?
that no one brings up the
Do you want
Doctor's
some
spiky hair.
sardines? Do you what?
You know how smart the school is, and
Yeah.
this dude's just rocking this
Oh,
spiky hair. It's like no one mentions it.
Perception filter, bruv.
Yeah, true.
Just
Yeah.
on the hair.
I actually own a fob watch with that design. Like a proper one, not the toy.
The metal one that they
Yeah.
released. Yeah.
No, it's one that I got on Amazon for a lot cheaper because I need
Oh,
a...
yeah. I've seen that.
Although when he opens it, he can hear Roger Delgado. So
That is weird.
that is
That
weird.
wasn't in the description page on Amazon.
No.
But
Roger
it's not the proper one. I'm showing it off now because it's a blackened metal, not silver.
That's
But
cool.
it's also
Yeah, I've
proper
seen
time,
that.
not Roman
Yeah.
numerals.
My dear Miss Grant. That's Roger. That's a good Roger Delgado there.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Which it is
Oh.
lovely.
I am the
There
master,
it is.
and you will obey me.
And this is like one of those episodes that you can watch it on its own, but then it's got quite a bit of series arc in it as well, because
It's got a bit of lore in it, like
Anything
introducing the chameleon arch and stuff.
yeah, the things introduced in this came into play at the end of the series with the Fob Watch and Chameleon arc.
Yeah.
And then also in Fugitive, which is
Also, doesn't it say you are not alone in it as well?
yes.
Came in Gridlock, but it also got repeated in this, like through the watch, and that wouldn't have got repeated in the watch if it wasn't important.
Yeah, the Doctor says to Thomas Latimer, "You're not alone. Keep me safe." At
Yeah.
one point through the watch.
When Martha, one bit I remember is I just enjoyed when Martha was like, "Do you want some sardines and jam with that?" Just to make sure that
Gravy and mutton tea as well.
that she was
Yeah.
evil. It was clever but funny.
Should we discuss briefly the sequels that came out during lockdown, if you remember them or know
I
of them?
didn't watch them.
So during the Doctor Who lockdown event organised by Emily Cook,
They
this
got
was
Daughter of Mine, didn't they?
huh?
They got Daughter of Mine back, didn't they?
They were commissioned 3 short stories for this, written by Paul Cornwell.
Oh, no.
Cornell.
Yeah.
and they tie into both the story, like the TV episode, and the book. Back in my notes, they're called The Shadow Passes, Shadow of Doubt, and The Shadow in the Mirror, and one of them has Bernice Summerfield talking to Daughter of Mine in this ancient mirror they found in a wreckage somewhere. Another one is about the Doctor, Graham, Yaz, and Ryan being stuck somewhere during a sandstorm. No, a death moon, sorry, on this planet, and then the Doctor, like, having mercy. And another one is the Doctor releasing Daughter of Mine from the mirror. The Bernice Summerfield one and the release of Daughter of Mine were narrated and put on the Doctor Who Lockdown YouTube page, and the other one was released as part of the Doctor Who Lockdown book, and it's a bit naff, that one. But
Didn't Bernice isn't that like a Big Finish thing?
Yeah, Bernice Summerfield, yeah.
She was a Virgin New Adventures because she's the companion for the original novel.
And then she got her own series.
Yeah, Big Finish have just run with her.
Oh yeah, because there's like a doctor for that. The Unbound Doctor, is he called?
Yes.
What's
That's
his
a
name?
whole can of worms.
That's also where Mark Gatiss's not Doctor Master comes into it all as well.
Yeah,
He's in that one.
Crazy stuff. I always do this. Like, my notes are mainly just like, that looked weird, but the shot of the piano hitting the ground in slow motion.
Yeah.
So weird. It looked so grainy. It looked like it was from like an 80s like TV commercial for "Don't run in the streets, there might be a piano."
Yeah,
It
it's
just
a bit.
looked like one of those. It looked like it was going to freeze frame and then be like, stop and think.
Yeah.
It's just weird. But I do like that bit with the ball and the
Yeah.
brick on the
Yeah,
plank
and he
of wood and
knows what's going to happen.
string.
His Docty senses.
Yeah, it's spider sense.
Yeah.
Sorry, Spidey sense. Is it Spidey sense? Yeah,
Yeah,
it is,
Spidey
isn't
sense, but I was saying Docty sense. To be funny.
it? Shit, I've always said spider sense.
No,
Well,
Spidey sense.
I'll never think of it the same way again.
Right, so I've got some trivia. Hate it. Interesting one. This is the first Doctor Who episode in 42 years to have a woman as a standard producer, so not an executive producer, just they were the producer for this episode.
Oh, shit. So that would have been since Verity Lambert, then?
Yes.
Fuck.
17
17 years ago today, Chris Fraxton was announced as the 9th Doctor.
Yeah.
Okay, no.
Sorry, I just saw that on Facebook. Thought it was interesting.
Oh, phew. It's Spidey sense and spider sense. It's used interchangeably. Fuck
Oh,
me,
phew.
I was about to have a
Haven't
breakdown.
made a mockery of yourself.
Most
Right.
of this episode was rewritten. Most of the story was rewritten by Russell T Davies as well. I think that
Well,
was
he
like,
did that for most of his tenure, though, didn't he? Really?
yeah, I think that's where like the series arc bits come in. So like, porn con.
He said it.
Yeah. I can't
Porn
say his name
call-out.
properly for some reason. He would have written like the main story bits, and then Russell would have come in and put in like the character bits that were needed.
Yeah.
Talking of polls,
Talking
where
of
the-
porn.
Somewhere in Liverpool, I'm guessing.
yeah, I got that bit. Didn't think he'd left the
Yeah, even though he is a plastic scouser.
country.
Yeah. This is
He's
the
gonna
first
love me saying
occurrence of an explicitly racist comment in New Who aimed at a companion.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the with hands like those. How do you know
Yeah.
what's clean and what's
That's-
Yeah,
not?
and also
Hell.
especially
One
not
thing-
someone of your colour bits.
One thing that, yeah, I don't know. It just felt uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But I
Good.
don't
Like,
think
nothing was done about it. Although I suppose nothing.
She
could have
can't.
been-
She's
You
she's
can't-
gotta keep her head down and keep him
Yeah.
safe. You know.
Yeah, it was just a bit difficult to watch.
Martha Jones destroys racism, but also loses the Doctor to the family of blood.
Yeah,
the BBC logo doesn't appear at the start of this episode like it normally would.
Oh.
So normally in the cold open, there's the BBC logo in the bottom of the
Yeah.
screen in the middle.
Is
Doesn't
this,
appear in Human Nature.
It's not appear at all.
No, it doesn't
It's
appear
not
until
even-
the
not even
BBC
when they
Wales
run it.
logo in the end credits.
That's weird.
Yeah.
They disowned the story.
It had Human Nature had 7.74 million views, and Family of Blood had 7.21 million. So more people cared about
Wow.
the opening than the ending.
People got to that cliffhanger and went, nah,
Yeah,
Nah.
I
I'm
don't
not
really
fussed.
want to see where this goes.
A
It's my headcanon
lot-
that the show ends here.
lot of this was filmed at St. Fagans near Cardiff, which is a open-air historical living museum thing. A bit like Beamish in the northeast of England, and wherever they film Peaky Blinders in the Black Country. Which I've been to. It's a very nice place. I got shouted at by an old woman at a bus stop in Cardiff because I mispronounced it. I called it St. Fagans, and this woman just went, "It's St. Fagans!" and then just continued on down the street. Weird woman. Strange. But a nice place. Lots of historical buildings and stuff. This is the first time in the revival as well that they have shown classic Doctors.
I was just going to say, is this the first time it's like basically confirmed on screen that Paul McGann's the 8th Doctor?
Yeah, they also, like, they've mentioned, like, there being previous Doctors in, like, School Reunion where it's like, he said he regenerated half a dozen times since they last met.
Yeah.
But this is where they actually show them
Yeah.
in the drawings and things.
Because I've heard people say, like, 11th Hour is when you first see Paul McGann. It's like, no, I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure
Yeah.
there's a drawing of him in this.
Yeah, they don't show all of the Doctors in the story, but on the
No.
Doctor Who website afterwards, they did release the character drawings for all of them, including
Cool.
David Tennant.
Journey of Impossible Things, is that called?
Journal.
Journal. Of course, why would it be Journey?
I've just seen
The rock band.
she puts us when she listens to the Doctor's hearts, to John Smith's hearts, to check there's only one. She puts the stethoscope on backwards.
I noticed that. I noticed that before I read the trivia.
Do you think they
Yeah.
realised that in, like, the edit and were like, damn it?
Probably. The scarecrows were added because Russell T Davies wanted a traditional monster, which is like traditional scary monsters, and it worked. They were bloody terrifying when I was 7. Would I have been? Yeah.
There's
Another
so much
Russell
trivia
bit.
this week.
Huh?
There's so much trivia this week.
Because it's 2 episodes.
Yeah.
We had this problem as well when we did Ascension of the Cybermen Timeless Children.
I think we just argued for most of that.
Yeah, we did. Russell T Davies was quoted as saying around the time this episode came out that he believed the 2-parter was too dark for the show's audience.
It was
Well,
quite dark.
Yeah.
Like
it
they're sort
touches
of
on,
him with the chameleon arch on, going like ah and screaming.
just like also the themes of the episode, it touches on like war and death and things like that.
Racism.
The impending war
Although
across
racism is
Europe and bit on racism.
to be shown on TV.
Thomas Latimer's line of "Yes, sir" every time when called a coward towards the final battle with the Scarecrows
Oh yeah, Doctor.
is a reference to the Ninth Doctor's "Coward
Yeah.
any day" line from The Parting of
When he
Ways,
says coward,
because
yeah.
they deliberately wrote his character as a bit doctorish.
Yeah, I noticed that. I'd like it to like almost there could be a thing that he could be a chameleon arched Doctor from another incarnation. That would be quite
What
cool.
he turned into a child and went, "Nah, human now."
Well, or it could turn out that the Timeless Child, from when they were still sort of child, like went and chameleon arched themselves, and
For
then
shits and
every time,
giggles.
and every time they regenerated, the chameleon arch would reset, and that's when it got to Ruth. Maybe
You know.
that could work.
It
I mean,
works.
literally, you can come up with any theory for
Yeah, you
Timeless Child.
can.
because
I'm
it's-
actually totally fine if they don't explain any of it.
yeah.
If
Like,
people just
I-
go, "Where's Ruth fitting?" And they just go, "Don't matter."
I don't actually. Yeah, I quite like when they leave things open ended.
Especially the Master, because that's the point of him.
Yeah, I
Like,
got kind of
all
annoyed
of his appearances in the classic
Missy
era
died.
are like supposed to be just how did he survive that? Doesn't
I
matter.
got I got annoyed when Missy, when they killed Missy, because like they sort of made it almost as if that's
Yeah.
once and for all. I know
At
they
least when they
come
did it
back,
on
but it's
screen.
like- yeah, I'd rather have just like they either made it not explicit that that would have killed her permanently.
But then
Or-
again, Dwan shows up, and that's like it's just like
Yeah,
the
but
original
he's-
run.
he's
It's
a
like boom, he's
previous
back. Don't
incarnation.
question why, he just is.
He's a previous incarnation though. Go on.
Is it confirmed?
Well, it's made sort of mostly obvious.
There you go. I mean, that's the point, I'd argue, of like the
Yeah.
Master. He's always been in, because isn't Delgado actually like the 12th incarnation?
Yeah,
It's like
he's
he's
final
completely
incarnation of the first cycle at least.
yeah, and then
Yeah.
he steals
and
bodies
then
and shit.
he turns into Peter Pratt,
Then Jeffrey Beavers.
then Jeffrey Beavers. But they're meant to be.
They're
Well,
the
no, they
same
were
one.
originally meant to be the same, but then actually in Big Finish, it turns out that they're supposed to be different. I think. I
mad.
don't know. I might be wrong, but I heard that somewhere.
And then he steals Anthony Ainley's body, and he keeps that for a while.
Yeah.
And then
That-
he gets
missed
given
that,
a
didn't
new set of regenerations for the Time War.
Hmm.
And I then think he dies and is resurrected. Well, he goes and becomes Yana, and then
Yeah.
has one regeneration, and is then given another set when he leaves Gallifrey after the end of time. So he's on at least his third set of regenerations now.
But also, that means loads would have come between him and Missy.
That's the thing. Dewan could be from any one of these sets of incarnations.
That's
We've
what
not seen
yeah.
every incarnation.
Like, there is no definitive list of master regenerations. Dan, your camera's still off.
Sorry, I'm trying to find the bit in the episode where the big white lorry drives past.
Well, where the bus goes past.
Apparently, there's a large white modern articulated
Oh.
lorry can be seen moving from right to left in the background between the targets.
That's quite funny.
There's some funny stuff on IMDb. I like this one. Just after Joan, Martha and Jenny see the flare in the sky, the Doctor, aka John Smith, tells them it's just a meteorite. However, the correct term is meteor. Meteorite is used once it has landed on the ground.
It sounds so nerdy.
Yeah, they are. The role of Phillips, who is, I think, the deputy head, he
Yeah.
gets shot.
Who dies?
Was offered to Nick Briggs, but he turned it down because he thought it was too small.
What?
Wait,
Yep.
Nicholas Briggs, Dalek Nicholas Briggs.
Yeah.
Yes.
Brig finish.
Yeah, and that's mostly everything I've got about this. Apart
Sam-
from the note on in the sequels bit where I just thought it was strange that whenever they're doing something now with like the modern merchandise that ties into something before, it's always the 13th who solves the problem of a previous Doctor.
What?
So like in the Shadow in the Mirror, they say that all of the Doctors had visited, like even the one who said he was the last Doctor, but it's the 13th who goes and shows mercy because they're the current Doctor, so they have to be the nicest one there. And I just find it a bit strange that it's always like the 13th, at the moment it's always the 13th Doctor solving the problems of past and future incarnations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When really it should have been Capaldi, if anyone, because he was the first in the new set.
But that's just my thoughts on the current expanded media.
Mm.
There you go. I found a picture of the there's actually like two big vehicles.
Yeah.
That's funny.
There's a train in the background. Oh no, it's not a train, it's lake. Oh yeah,
That's the river.
there's the articulated lorry.
Yes, and the
Quite funny.
those threatening targets of sandbags with buckets and pointed sticks.
Yes. Very threatening.
We must go at them full force. No quarter.
Schoolboys are shown firing a .303 Vickers machine gun, which had a
I read
range
that.
of 4,500 yards. An outdoor firing range would always have a slope of earth or sand behind the targets to stop dead all bullets fired down the range. Not only is there no such slope behind the targets, but we can see they're firing down into a valley full of buildings, well within the 4.5 kilometre range of the gun, jeopardising the lives of the villagers. And I'm thinking of Minecraft villagers. Nice.
This is the thing where that is actual army protocol, not the protocol of a school cadet force in 1913.
That's true.
You'll like this, Cameron. Tubular metal scaffolding, of the kind that the doctor dislodges with a thrown cricket ball in order to save the woman and child from a falling piano, was not in widespread use in the UK until the 1930s. Before that, wooden scaffolding poles were employed, lashing together / into position with rope or something similar. Now it's ruined. I can't watch it ever again.
Who actually wrote this stuff?
I don't know.
Like, who noticed this?
Dickheads!
Yeah.
But 9 people found it interesting.
Yeah.
Paul's close.
Paul is close, so... anybody got any other thoughts about this before we move on to
News?
Section.
News?
I've been
Live
watching
news.
Sapphire and Steel recently, and it just made me, because Russell's tenure focused a lot on like shadows being like the bad. Like Midnight was about, like the Midnight entity was sort of the only feasible time that you're supposed to have seen it was when the guy says that he saw a shadow traveling across the landscape. Vashta Narada, shadows, even
That's
though
a Moffat
I
creation,
know
though.
it's Moffat, but he'd probably have been given like a premise by Russell for the tenure.
Yeah.
But even then, it's just a lot focusing on shadows. But you can tell. But Sapphire and Steel, which I've been watching recently, like most of the episodes involve some form of shadow being the dark, malevolent force at work. So you see like how much new series Who had been inspired by that, or at
I
least
think it's just like an easy villain to do. If it's like a shadow, you just create some darkness and like there's your shadow.
it had never been used
Yeah.
in Doctor Who before
Class.
new series.
The entire main villain of that is called the Shadow Kind.
Yeah, but they're not actually
shit.
shadows.
They're a bit shit.
Yeah, they are terrible, and they're not
They
actually
get defeated by an LED.
Yeah, but then there's also the thing about the shadows in this. I think it just
Are they shadows or are they just weird smoky boys?
what in Sapphire and Steel.
No, Family of Blood's actual look.
I don't know, but they're
that's the thing as well. What does the Family of Blood look like when they're not in the form
They
of?
don't have a form, I think, is the point. They're just some form of consciousness.
Yeah.
Like classic John Pertwee stories.
Yes. So in the news this week, we've
Dun-
got.
Wait, we've got to do.
Is this Faith by George Michael?
That is a news theme for this week.
Wait, I beg you delete that from the final thing.
No.
Nah,
If
now
we
you've
keep mentioning it, we
you've
can't
asked to
delete
delete it. You know what I'm not going to do? Delete it.
So this week there was the news that the Funko Pop mobile game that is
Funko
like a
Pop.
Bejeweled Blitz thing now has the new
Bejeweled.
incarnations of the Doctors in it. For anyone who gives a shit about that,
I didn't even know it existed before.
I keep getting Facebook ads for it with characters from The Office, which is a show I've never seen, and I don't care about Funko Pops.
Office is good. Well, most of it is.
It's the American Office, but
Victorious
that's the good
Echoes
one.
of Extinction LP.
Huh?
yeah,
New
that-
thing.
you can now pre-order the Echoes of Extinction LP from Big Finish. There is the other news as well that the Zygons might be returning for
Oh, yes.
the next series because, and this is the thing, someone on Twitter's friend saw a box in a car with the Zygon logo on from the Zygon Invasion, Zygon Inversion.
It was slightly changed. The thumb was shorter.
There is a box in a car, therefore the Zygons are returning.
Yeah. But it did have the logo.
But it
Paul-
could just literally be the Doctor Who department spraying the logo on things because they're bored.
Yeah. Paul's just sent a picture of he can see the TARDIS,
Yes.
which is very exciting.
And of course, Doctor Who is currently filming in Liverpool in the Albert Dock, which was spoilt slightly by John Bishop's. Is that Instagram or Facebook?
I don't know. It's one of those.
Yeah. And also the Lonely Assassins mobile game came out this week. It came out on Friday. It currently costs $3.99, which is a very good price. I know none of the others have played it. Have you?
No, not at all.
Fair enough. This is down to me then. Yeah, it's a very good game for the price that you get. Weeping Angels are actually scary in this,
Good.
and it does. There, so fuck up. Paul, hello. How are you, good man?
Hello, man. Are you there? Oh. Hello. Where's Dan? Also,
Why
where's
can't be with me?
What?
No, Dan's muted his microphone, so we don't know if he's actually still here.
What's
He's
that?
missing the. Oh, look, there's the TARDIS. Can you see Jodie?
Nah, do that.
Nah.
Not yet. With the just shout.
Yeah.
Did he just say
Oh,
Paul's
God.
gonna scout? In the third person. Wow. Well, as we were saying, Alex Kingston. Oh, wait, he's back. We can't hear you, Paul.
Yeah, whilst we're waiting for Paul to get closer, Lonely Assassins
Always
game. Weeping Angels are properly scary in it, and it's a fun little game. It's worth the price. It's got a very good theme composition for it.
Yeah. Who was it? Sagan? Or...
No. One of the others posted it the other day.
Hmm.
God, we talk a lot of bollocks in this chat. Yeah, it's a relatively short game, but it's got loads of Easter eggs in.
Yeah.
And, like, the references aren't just for the main show. Like,
No.
it's got Ronnie and Clyde mentioned in it.
So, like, the spin off stuff as well.
Yeah. Ronnie is said to have, at one point, interviewed Arthur Williams, who said his parents got touched by an angel and sent back in time.
His parents?
Yeah.
But isn't Arthur Williams Rory's dad?
It's also what they named their adopted son.
That happened. I don't even remember.
It's got...
That's not in the series, is it?
It was deleted from the series, so it's only storyboarded. But it was included as an extra on the DVD. The theme was composed by Richard Williamson, I think it said. Richard Wilson.
Bears. I don't know who that is.
Yeah, he does a lot of the extended media bits.
Oh, did he do that Jodie Whittaker like sort of series announcement with the sort of orange space bit with the rocks and the Doctor Who logo?
I think he might have done. Yeah, what other Easter eggs are?
Alex Kingston, the Ruby Curse, is signed bookplate edition hardback is coming out at Waterstones.
I've already ordered that, but yeah. What?
I don't know.
Oh, there's also a like side quest in Lonely Assassins where you have to find the Doctor.
Yeah,
like because you're given Lawrence Nightingale's phone, and you're having to go through it, and there's a photo of an angel on it, so he's taking over the phone slowly, and you delete it and stuff.
Yeah,
but you basically look for the Doctor throughout history, and apparently Lawrence was as well. and so you find them at the Louvre during the Van Gogh exhibition.
Oh yeah.
There's a photo of Matt Smith dangling from the TARDIS from Day of the Doctor.
Yeah.
And there's also him on the cover of Bleak House, which is set during the Crimea.
Ooh.
And it is like, oh, what would the Doctor be doing in the Crimean War? And that is meant to be rumoured that it's going to be in the Crimea during the... It also references... The game references Time Fracture, which is the immersive experience for the Time Lord Victorious that hasn't opened yet.
Yeah, because of
So
COVID.
you can tell they weren't planning on COVID.
No.
It's like, yeah, we'll mention this, and people have seen it, and they go, ooh! And it's like, nah. But this does confirm that unit is closed down, but unofficially still running as a unit.
So like as a undercover covert.
Yeah, so they're a more now underground organization, but they still seem to have all of the resources and everything.
Yeah. Where is Dan and Paul? Paul's just sent a picture, which I'm sure Dan will put on at some point.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a fun little game.
Paul, bonjour.
The Return to Wester Drumlins is handled well and good. And it's also fun to see characters that we didn't get to see a lot of. Sally Sparrow isn't actually in the game, but she's mentioned quite a bit.
But it's because she's a famous actress now.
Yeah, but we do actually have the guy who played Lawrence returning in a quite main role. Because it's his phone.
Yeah. Paul!
And now we're just watching Paul's...
Your volume's not on.
Jolly round.
Also, wait, has the image frozen for you as well? Has Paul's image?
But if he's on his data, it's probably janky as fuck.
Paul, your image is frozen and your volume is off. Also, where the fuck is Dan as well?
Probably having a shit.
Nice. It's very oh, well, Paul's gone again. This is going very well.
Yeah, so there's not much left to do at the moment, apart from a randomizer for episode 29.
Do you have the randomizer, or is that...
that's done at Dan's end.
Well, we're going to have to stall until Dan... That should be fun.
Edit this bit out because it's worthless.
Because you said earlier that you don't feed them fishy cat food.
Is Dan back? Dan, where the fuck did you go? I literally heard him giggle, and now he's gone. Are you there?
Sorry, I'm back.
Where the fuck did you go?
Got a phone call from
From the girlfriend.
from the woman.
It's fine. We were just stalling. You may have to cut a lot of that out.
I'm gonna have fun listening back to that.
No.
I do at one point say, cut from here.
I saw Paul join, but I didn't have any sound, so...
Well, no, he sounded.
He joined, showed us a bit of the dock side, he froze and then left.
What was your conversation about? Oh.
What?
I said, what was your conversation about? And you just went,
How's Emma? I think she's Emma.
Emma's fine.
I didn't get her name right?
Are you in trouble?
No, we're just figuring out when to book.
You're going to get married?
Yeah, sure. Let's go with that. It's way more interesting.
What were you
but now
we're having a baby and we're naming it Cameron.
Hey,
cool.
Why the fuck now?
Does she listen to this?
No, she can.
Damn it.
I think she's subscribed on Spotify.
Wait, we're on Spotify?
Yeah, we're on everything, bro. We're on.
You get money? Do you get money from Spotify?
No, we're not monetized.
We don't. People do. We don't.
Alright, the thought of it that you can get on the screen.
Right, shall we finally do this episode randomizer?
Yeah.
Yes, let's do the randomizer, chaps. You chap McBlokes. So the screen at the moment says Time in the Rani. I don't know why, because... Oh no, yeah, last episode we did get that, but we did Human Nature because that was the other option. So shall I hit the thing?
Do it 5 times.
5 times? Christ, okay. The God Complex.
Oh,
The Runaway Bride.
no.
It's a Christmas special anyway. The Invasion of Time.
I watched that recently. It's terrible.
You watched
one
all
was
of them
Invasion?
recently.
Yeah.
The Mark of the Rani, Cameron. Mark of the Rani.
It's good.
And Victory of the Daleks.
No, do another 5.
That's not the point of the randomizer, Harry.
I don't care. Do another
No,
5.
I say that, we do that all the time.
Do another
If they're shit, we'll do more.
Come on.
Alright, 1. The Hand of Fear.
Ooh, I watched that
2.
again.
Planet of Fire. 3.
Yeah.
The Eaters of Light.
Fuck no.
4. Time Heist.
That's brilliant.
And 5. Demons of the Punjab.
I haven't watched that since it came out.
Uh,
It's quite good.
So out of those 10, there's got to be one you want to watch. I know there's one I want to watch.
Hand of Fear, Time Heist, or Punjab.
Time Heist.
Time Heist?
Or Hand of
Although
Fear.
I suddenly got this inexplicably
Actually, no,
weird
Hand of
feeling
Fear.
to do Mark of the Rani for some
No,
reason.
Hand of
I have no
fucking-
idea why Mark of the Rani. Why you would think that was even on the table,
Hand of
Mark of the
Fear.
Rani.
We should do Hand of Fear because I got the season 14 Blu-ray box set recently and I haven't watched Hand of Fear on it yet.
Let me check.
We
Oh,
have
my
just
BritBox
done-
ran out, and I'm a cheapskate.
Double
So let me
Doctor.
check if I've got it on DVD.
You can log into my BritBox if you want.
Oh my god, just put a ring on him at this point. Nah, yeah, we could do Hand of Fear. I'd quite like to do Time Heist or Mark of the Rani.
Well then.
So Cameron, what did you say?
Wait,
you wanted to do?
I've got an idea. Why don't we just pick another 5 and we can only pick from those 5?
Okay, you doing that then? Right.
Yeah.
Boom. Mummy on the Orient Express.
Hmm?
I thought we'd done Mummy on the Orient Express. Oh no, that
No.
was in my top 5. That's why. Dark Water / Death in Heaven. Nah. The Return of Doctor Mysterio. Fugitive of the Jadoon.
Hmm.
And Dinosaurs on a Spaceship. All modern.
Why are
era.
they all new series? No, another 5.
Hang on a sec. Let me check the channel real quick. We haven't done a classic one since. Oh, we did Megalos, never mind.
Yeah.
Just do another 5, and this will be the one. This will be the 5
One.
that we just...
City of Death.
That's more like it.
The 10th Planet.
Well,
Rise of the Cybermen, The Age of Steel. The Girl Who Died, The Woman Who Lived.
no.
The Ark in Space.
Let's do 10th Planet.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut all of this that we've just spent, the past 20 minutes choosing different one. I'm just going to say, what are we doing next week? And then one of you say the name of the episode, and it'll be straightforward. So, what are we doing next week?
What about the 10th Planet? Not the 10th Planet.
Yeah, so that has been Shobocast this week. If you want to follow us on Twitter, you can do so at the Shobocast. At Shobocast, sorry. That is the same on Instagram as well. If you want to email us, because you just have to be on email these days, it is at shobocast@gmail.com. You can follow us all individually on Twitter if we link it below. If we need to sort Harry out something on that so people can stalk him. We are at Shobocast on Twitter and Instagram if you want to email us, because you just have to simply be on email these days. It is shobocast@gmail.com, and you'd never know, if you email us, you too could end up on this show at some point, like Harry.
Hello. What the fuck was that noise?
Yeah. Harry, don't wave at the camera, this is audio.
See you later.